Alicia Powe for TvAbraham in Washington. Welcome back to Inside the Capitol. As Iran's regime unleashes a brutal crackdown on nationwide protests with official counts at 3,000 dead and UN-linked estimates warning the death toll exceeds 20,000, we asked members of Congress whether they support U.S. intervention in Iran and what that would look like for America's future in the region.
Well, I certainly don't support the killing of the protesters. I think it's unclear what the Trump administration has planned for what they want to do in Iran. And I read the other day that some of the protesters were angry because the president promised to intervene and has not. So I don't know what his thinking is at this point, but I think it's clear that we want to be supportive of the protesters. Democracy would be a huge step in the right direction, or any step towards democracy in Iran would be a huge step in the right direction. But it's not going to be an easy one, and we need to make sure we understand that people are putting their lives at risk and losing their lives too. So let's be judicious and thoughtful. Let's not overpromise, and let's not make statements to protesters in Iran that we're not going to keep, because it's unfair to them and puts their lives in danger. I think it depends on what he does. I mean, one of the issues we keep having with him is that he keeps taking action, like in Venezuela, that appear to be in violation of the War Powers Act. And it also appears that he's taking action and hasn't really thought through the next steps of that, which is definitely clear in Venezuela. And to some extent, it was clear in Iran. So the strike that took out apparently some of the nuclear capability over there, but then he would just say that everything got taken out instead of actually doing any kind of investigation to confirm whether that's true or not. And now we know that it's not. So, they have to be thoughtful and strategic about what they do. They can't, there's no victory laps in this stuff. These are, twilight struggles that we have to continue fighting over time. And I know he's trying to seek some political victories, and so he's focused on a lot of the foreign piece. But, we have to do this the right way because people's lives are at risk. Well, I think it depends. I mean, he's got access to intelligence information that I don't necessarily. But again, making public promises out there that you're going to take steps to protect or help the protesters and then not doing it, that definitely is not the right way to go.
I think we should do everything we possibly can morally to support the people of Iran. They deserve to be free. They've been under basically tyrannical terrorist rule for decades now. So we're going to have a measured approach towards providing them support. And the sanctions, of course, that the Trump administration put on Iran has somewhat forced the hand and given people reason to say, hey, this is a country that can be a lot better. What was done in Venezuela, I think they saw that and said, why should we live with a dictator? So the people are getting upset, a little bit of a domino effect taking place. During the Biden administration, they undid the sanctions and completely enriched Iran. They became more of a terrorist, not just threat, engaged in more terrorism, sponsoring and paying for Hezbollah and Hamas. And so, it's good to see, and hopefully works out for the Iranian people. Awful. Well, the American people, yes, want America first, but not America alone. President Trump works probably 4 times more hours a day than the previous president, probably twice that of a typical president, and he's doing both. He's got an incredible team. He's keeping an eye on international order, and he's certainly driving our country's economy and national security, making us stronger every single day. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of what he did had to say over in Davos, making the case for the United States. And I'll tell you what, international global stability is by all means in the interests of the American people.
First of all, it should be a surprise to no one what's happening in Iran. That oppressive regime hopefully is going to meet its timely demise, given how oppressive it's been to the people that live there. I'm supportive of the president's efforts in Iran. I really appreciated how he took decisive action against their nuclear program. His administration has all the facts about what's happening there, and I would support certainly Israel acting, and if it's in the interest of the United States, I would support that. So it's absolutely horrific. You know what? I don't have all the facts in front of me. That requires a lot of study and a lot of classified briefings to understand what's actually happening there. But I believe President Trump has demonstrated that his administration and the Republican Party in the United States stands firmly with the people of Israel, stands firmly against the government of Iran, and demands that people not be killed for simply protesting. And we'll see what happens. I don't know what the next best step is. I don't want to declare one thing over the other because I don't have all the information in front of me, but I believe President Trump has been, a true champion for the people in the Middle East, and Iran changes there would be so very welcome.
I'm not for military intervention, but my heart goes out to the protesters, and I think what the Iranian regime is doing is brutal, killing of unarmed protesters, and I condemn it in the strongest terms, and we need to have a thoughtful policy.
When you have that kind of genocide, you're going to need to do something. Now, boots on the ground, I don't think that's going to be necessary, but it has all kind of ways to make sure that these folks be protected. And unlike when Obama did it and just let it go and did nothing, there's more pressure now to give folks know that there's hope, that they get some relief, some help, and the thousands of people that have been killed that will not be left unnoticed. It's insane. It's evil. Is what it is. And I'm just thankful we have a president who sees that. It's not just Iran, it's the Christians in Nigeria. It's the things that happen to the Venezuelans. I mean, people right now around the world are getting a little bit more hope that there's a country like the United States that understands their pain and can be very smart and strategic in terms of how we support and help them out.
Right now, the president is doing everything he can to, use the leverage that we have as the United States. I think that he's wanting to see the people of Iran continue to succeed at really bringing about this regime change. It's going to be up to the people ultimately there, that if they rise up. And I think that, the president drew the line and said if this killing continued, killing protesters, that the U.S. would be forced to step in a different way. So I think at this point we wait and see. I think there's work that's going on, and I think the president is he's on top of it. I've heard all kinds of numbers for sure on what's happening. So it's something that we're watching. I know that, again, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is very engaged in what's happening in these situations. So at this point, we're committed, and I think it would be personally, I think it would be a great thing. We're praying for the people of Iran to be able to be strong and sustain their strength as they move forward in this step.
Yeah, I don't think that the United States should commit military power to solve the dispute in Iran. We are largely responsible for the fact that this regime is in place in the first place. When we came in and deposed the duly elected president of Iran back in '58, I believe it was, installed the Shah as a puppet regime, and that does not work. We certainly don't need to revert back to that kind of policy at this time. But I fully support the quest of the Iranian people for freedom. I know that there are bold and courageous leaders in Iran who are losing their lives in the fight for freedom for their people. And I support all people who are aspiring and fighting for freedom. But I do not support military intervention into that problem. Any way that we can any way that we can support the opposition, yeah. But not through involvement with our military. Yeah, sanctions, we already have sanctions in place. Any more that we can put in place would be appropriate.
Look, I think with the relationships over there, the president has the right information to make a good decision on, so I support his decision.
I really see the protesters in Iran. They are fighting for freedom, and United States should do everything possible to help those protesters be fighting the oppressive regime.
Alicia Powe in Washington for TvAbraham.